Hey, folks. All right. Today we're going to be discussing parts of speech, and also we're going to start working on diagramming sentences. I don't know if you're familiar with diagramming sentences, but basically it is taking a sentence apart by its components, just like you would anything else that you want to take apart. It's a way to understand how each part of a sentence fits together. And by doing that, you will become better writers. And more importantly, you will be able to understand and comprehend sentences much better. Now, when I was in high school, we were just told we're learning to diagram sentences. We weren't told why. First question: when is somebody going to walk up to us on the street and ask us to diagram a sentence? Nobody's going to do that. No one in their right mind is going to do that. Now, there might be some people in their wrong mind that will do that, but there will be no one in their right mind that's going to ask you to diagram a sentence. However, if you know how to diagram a sentence, and if you understand the relationship of words, then you will be able to comprehend writing much better, and you will be able to understand and write much more clearly and accurately. And even in this age of texting and Snapchat and Instagram and all those things, you still need to be able to comprehend clearly and be able to write clearly. So we're going to start with some basic things, and then we're going to show you a few little simple diagrams this time. And then you're going to get an opportunity to practice. So let's go. Let me flip my page, and there we are. All right, you guys already know the parts of speech. I don't have to go over those with you. I will write them down as a list. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. It looks like I'm as close as I'm going to get. Of course, you know the parts of speech are noun, pronoun, which is not a noun that gets paid. It substitutes for a noun, as you know. The verb, you have an adverb, an adjective, conjunction, which you have already had an encounter with, and the preposition. Now the main parts of your subject and predicate are the noun, the pronoun, and the verb. These are the primary, very, very basic. This is it for subject and predicate. A noun and a verb, a pronoun and a verb. So keep that in mind. Everything else in here is used to connect or modify the predicate and the subject and the predicate. So let's take a look at a real simple sentence. Bob ran. It doesn't matter where Bob ran, he just ran. When you diagram a sentence, the first thing you do is you draw a straight line. Then you write the subject on one side and then draw a line through, and the predicate on the other. So in this case, we have Bob ran. Very simple sentence. That's your entire diagram. So if we had Mary studied, we draw a line. We write Mary on one side, a vertical line, and then studied. These are as simple a sentence as you're going to get. That's as simple as your sentence is going to get. You're not going to get any simpler. Subject, predicate. That's it. That's the whole show right there. Now we're going to add something to it. We are going to add a modifier. So we are going to say the dog barked. So now we have our noun, we have our verb, but we also have a modifier. Now this is an article. You guys are familiar with the article a and the, but also they act as adjectives. So we ask ourselves, dog barked. Which dog? The dog barked. So now we know which dog barked. So when we diagram that sentence, we're going to draw a straight line and we're going to write dog. And notice now this time, dog is lowercase. Here they were capitalized because they were the first word of the sentence, and they are also proper nouns. And you draw a line, and what did the dog do? The dog barked. Okay. So we have dog barked, but what we don't have is we don't have the shown. Well, since the modifies dog, we draw an angle line and we write the word the here. So the dog barked. We know which dog. The dog barked. Now this is when we're starting to add adjectives to it. So take a look at the example. Bob ran, noun, verb, Bob ran. Mary studied, noun, verb, Mary studied. The dog barked, adjective, noun, verb. So far, quite simple. It's going to get a little more complicated as we move along, but that's okay. Here's the whole thing I want you to get from this is what is the relationship of the words together? So let's do another one. Let's say the brown dog ate. The brown dog ate. Well, by this time you should know what goes here. Dog. Then a vertical line, and then the word ate. So right here we have a long subject because remember the subject is everything that comes before the verb, and we have a short predicate. Now we have to ask ourselves, we know where the goes. All right, so the dog ate, but also it is what kind of dog? So the modifies dog just like it does here. So we've got dog, but it is also the brown dog. So we are going to say the brown dog ate. Now this is very, very basic, very, very simple diagramming. You have to be familiar with the parts of speech. Now, as sophomores, you should know these already. You should have learned these in about 6th grade and in middle school. You should have learned these, been reviewed on these as freshmen. So, nouns, people, place, thing. Pronoun takes the place of a noun. Verb indicates a state of being or action. Adverbs modify verbs and adjectives. Adjectives modify nouns. Conjunctions connect sentences, and prepositions give you information as far as place, time, etc. So keep these things in mind here. Take a look at these examples. We will be getting a little more complicated every time. Thank you.